What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan, and welcome back to Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie Weekends. We will be reacting, well, I keep saying we. I will be reacting to the 9th episode of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. The title of today's episode is Innocence and Clumsiness. But before we start, I do need to talk a bit about episode 8. So first and foremost, to the studio and the producers, I hope that you are all in good health. For all of you that may not have known, the reason that we had these 2 intermission breaks was due to production delays that were created as a result of a COVID-19 outbreak that happened in the studio that is making this anime. And so to catch up, they needed time to basically just get themselves back in a proper order. I'm happy to say that as of right now, as of the time of this recording on Saturday, June 18th, there have been no further announcements of delays, and we should now be fast tracking to the conclusion. And we have 4 more episodes, including today's episode. So, but yeah, the health and safety of the studio always comes first, and I'm happy to say that it looks like they are back to normal now. But with that said, we left off at a pinnacle point, at the highest point of the show on episode 8. You guys that watched that reaction, you know that I cried the whole reaction, and I was fresh off of an eye injury, which I'm still recovering from, but it's a lot better now than it was 2 weeks ago. And my tears were, the show deserved my tears. The Kamiya arc was a surprising arc for me, but then again, with how this show has been going, it wasn't really a surprise at all. And I take that back, it wasn't a surprise, because this show has done such a great job of showing maturity, a bit of feistiness, but all in all, a great amount of communication and a good circle of people that leads to a very mature and a well-respected group of friends. And of course, Shikimori, being that she is literally just a goddess that we all wish we could find ourselves a Shikimori. But then here comes Kamiya. And, you know, we've watched dozens, hundreds of animes that we know how this tends to go. When another person garners feelings for the person that you, the main character, are interested in, well, you know how that tends to go. Normally we see jealousy, we see a bunch of fighting, we see a bunch of unnecessariness, and it stretches over 2 seasons, and then it eventually finally resolves itself, either in a harem or no one wins at all. Or someone wins, but it's just a whole bunch of childishness that continues to take place. But then here comes Kamiya, who genuinely and truly found peace in a man that she didn't even think it was going to happen that way. That he saw her for who she was, just as something as simple as working the library together. Being that was the one place that she could go to, knowing that the man who was there, was going to talk to her as a person and not hold her on this absolutely high pedestal of just ridiculousness. And it meant so much to Kamiya. And naturally, when you're being treated as this high pedestal and finally you're being talked to like a regular person, it's a good feeling, because it feels to you that you're not being treated as just some tool, as just something, as just a pedestal, a trophy that just sits on a shelf or something like that, but as an actual human being. And naturally, she developed the feelings that she did for Izumi, and it just so happens that she was just too late, because Shikimori realized in that entire episode that had she even been a second later, and had Kamiya taken action or said something about how she felt a second before, that we would have been looking at Kamiya's Not Just a Cutie and not Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. So, you know, looking at everything from the princess trying to pursue forbidden love, all the way to how Shikimori and Kamiya resolved the situation in episode 8. It was some of the greatest amount of maturity. It was just amazing. I was so proud of Shikimori for reacting in the way that she did. she responded just wow. We adults could learn something from the way that Shikimori and Kamiya handled that situation with each other. Shikimori didn't let that drag. She realized that it needed to be addressed because it was clear that it might become a problem later, and so she wanted to go ahead and address that. She immediately realized the problem. She approached her about it. She actually wanted to give her the opportunity because she saw that just girls can kind of see in other girls, just like how guys we can see in other guys. What we're kind of going through. Girls can see in other girls when something is really wrong, and she could just see that loneliness in her eye. And if y'all remember when Shikimori went and asked for the number, there was that brief moment where just a brief moment in which Kamiya didn't let go of the paper, and then she did, and it's just you could tell that she was just internally being destroyed and just crushed. And she knew that Shikimori and Izumi deserved each other. So there was no doubts in anyone's mind that those two aren't perfect for each other. But it's just that she was just too late. And now realizing that the person she finds peace in, she may never be able to have that type of closeness with again now that he's found a woman basically of his dreams, because goodness knows Shikimori and Izumi are just amazing to each other. So yeah, we wrapped up the episode though in a way that literally just blew me away. I cried. I actually cried for a long period of time after the episode. I've been talking about this episode for 2 weeks now. And in my Kamiya reaction that I did that week, I normally will use that reaction to actually the following week, because that's when the week ratings for what rated from this episode, that episode 8 of Shikimori came out. And I ranted because the rating board that I use, Anime Corner, it didn't even rank it in the top 10. It didn't even rank it in the top 20. I want to say that it was ranked 26 in that poll. And I had said that if it did not rank in the top 10 based on that masterpiece episode, it will never rank in the top 10 again. Or, well, not even again, because it never did an Anime Corner. So it would never rank in general. And I was so disappointed. However, what I was very happy to see, and I'm actually going to put it up on the screen now again, is the fact that Shikimori, over for 2 weeks, even during its 1 week hiatus, in anime trending, was a top 10 show and has been ranked relatively consistently there, showing a difference in the audience. So, for all of you who have given this show a chance, who have looked past Izumi's so weak-minded and he's just weak in general, because that man is not weak. Let's be very clear here. That man is not weak. Neither him nor Shikimori. They complement each other in the greatest way. Yes, he has a lot of bad luck, but that man is not weak. But for all of you who have supported and rode with this show from the very first episode, thank you so much. And, I really hope that the studio will see past the fact that the West has been relatively unfavorable of this show, and we'll see us fans here who actually have really been enormously thankful to them for making this show, because this show has given me everything I want. I really don't even care about the Mal rating. The show is a 6.88 on Mal. To hell with Mal right now with this show. It is a completely unfair rating, and I'm just going to have to go to my anime grave with that. So with that said, I wanted to kind of get that off my chest, because everything that happened in episode 8 was nothing short of a masterpiece. I hope Kamiya finds happiness. I love her so much, and preferably I'd love to see her join the group. So with that said, I've done my best to avoid spoilers today, because I did have to work up until now. It's actually 11:22 p.m. My time on Saturday. So and I did hear that there is a new visual out, but I hurriedly went past the post. However, I'm hoping in my heart that it's what I think is going to happen. And like I said, I just would love to see Kamiya be part of the group. And I know it would probably be awkward for her, but I get the feeling now that Shikimori has had that bonding moment with her, she's not just going to let her be by herself to try to figure her feelings out by herself, because that's the type of person Shikimori is. Yes, she gets jealous, but she's a good person. So with that said, guys, thanks for y'all for listening to me kind of go through that. And again, I really do hope you guys have been enjoying this season of this show as much as I have. And I really hope you guys enjoyed episode 8 as much as I did. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and kick off this reaction. And again, the title of the episode is Innocence and Clumsiness. So let's go ahead and get this started. As soon as I untangle myself. Okay. All right, I'm going to get this started in 3, 2, 1. Oh no. She really does. Also, I'll be right back. I was gonna put some eye drops in this eye. All right. Oh. Oh, she's in. I don't think she was in, so they added her in. Oh, I hope that's a sign she's gonna join. I love Kamiya so much. I should not have ended up loving her as much as I did. Except one person, but y'all won't know. She doesn't hate you. Oh no. I mean, he can't drop everything on his girlfriend now. Gotta have bros sometime to help out. I love Hachi's. I love Hachi's. Whichever one gonna knock the cold out better. I mean, it's really not, but You just noticed? Ah! Like, I was sitting here like, wait, what's he gonna realize? Look at you being nice. Aww. Actually, I can't even say that because after what she did for Kamiya, she's always gonna be nice to me no matter what, even when she gets aggressive. Have you know? Bruh, there was nothing there. Wow. Eh, nah. Nah, she was pretty dead on. No, y'all are literally a tight knit group. She don't hate nobody in this group. A cute little ascension seeking baby. Yeah, like literally, this man over here dying, and y'all just sitting here BSing in the store. My goodness. Kamiya. Oh. Aw. Yes, please. There really is something so mesmerizing about Kamiya too. Like again, it could have just been either side, and I would have been fine with either of them being the leads of this show. Hey! The level of maturity to be able to squash those differences like that and to be able to do something like this. My goodness, maturity that we should all aim for. They're going to have a wholesome friendship now. I'm so happy seeing this. I'm so happy. Okay, don't y'all best not talk about my girl Kamiya. Y'all was putting her at too high of a pedestal and it made her feel awkward. No, she was just because they had a real big bonding moment, one that was needed. Bruh! Hold up. Bruh, y'all understand that between Kamiya, actually between all three of them, they about to mess y'all up. They about to mess y'all up on this court. Like, look, especially these two. Oh, they about to whip y'all ass on this court. Bruh, they about to beat them 60-0. That don't mean nothing. Oh, oh. I'm telling you, between Kami and Shikimori, y'all ain't winning nothing. They about to destroy y'all. You're not even about to get a point. Not even a point. And they are in such unison. Bruh, literally, they're not going to score. Oh my goodness. Dang. Destroyed. They are legends. Literally number 1 and number 2. Oh. I'm so glad they resolved that difference in episode 8. They're going to be the best of friends. Yes, she has. That's alright. That's alright. She has friends now, and it's all thanks to Shikimori just approaching her. Well, then we're going to have to figure that out. And we ain't going to have nothing but time now that you're in this crazy circle. Yo, Kamiya has such a soothing voice, too. I might actually go as far as to say she has the most soothing voice in this anime. Oh. And she's gonna give it off now. Now that she's opening up a little. Yo, every one of these main characters is so wholesome. They're all good people. And y'all telling me people can't like this show. Yeah, because you're making great strides. Another perfect episode. Just with not as much crying, so my goodness. That was so good. Welcome back after the 1 week hiatus. Shikimori's not just a cutie. Wow, wow, wow. And after I put some more eye drops in my eye, I'll be right back to give y'all my reaction. Alright guys, I'm back. Thanks for that small, well, what will be millisecond wait for me to come back to doing my post reaction. So, another perfect episode, another wholesome episode, another great episode. I can't say enough. I just cannot express my positivity enough about what we're watching in this show. And, you know, I could tell that even though the first 6 episodes for me were even just phenomenal, quite frankly, I've been loving this show. You know, everything that's happened once Kamiya has shown on the screen, I think has truly catapulted this show into a much higher rated category than I was ever expecting to put this show in. The show is easily sitting at a 9 right now, with potentially higher marks dependent on how I end up feeling when we wrap this season up. Again, I was so happy to see Kamiya get bought into the mix. Like, that was one of my biggest questions that I had, is if she was going to get bought into the mix. And if it was going to happen in this season, if they were going to wait it out till the end of the season. But it was nice to see that obviously they came across her in the store, and after they came across her in the store, and Nikazaki being how she is, she didn't realize that for Kamiya, she started something very new for Kamiya. There's a lot of things that kind of are going to have to be worked out, though, as time goes on. And even though, obviously, Kamiya and Shikimori have had their talk, they've had their crying, they've shared their emotions with each other. There's been no meeting so far, at least, of course, it didn't happen in this episode, where the entire group is together with Izumi. Kamiya is going to find it very hard in the early stages. If, now that she appears to be in the friend circle now, it's going to be hard for her to try to, figure out what she should do with the feelings, since obviously she can't, she can't really do much with the feelings since he's with Shikimori now. Again, I'm not a poly person. But if after how phenomenal they've chosen to go about this, something poly was to matriculate at some point in the future, you would not really see me bat an eye. That's how great I love how they have written Shikimori and Kamiya in this show, their interactions with each other, and I wouldn't care. Now, obviously, that is not probably going to be the case here. So one of the things she's going to have to figure out is how she's going to channel those emotions. And obviously, as Shikimori said, it's not her position to tell her how she should do that. So, that is obviously up to Kamiya to figure that out. But one thing that Shikimori has said is she under no circumstances is going to prevent her, and that was basically what was said in the episode 8 discussion between the two. She's under no circumstances going to tell her that she can't talk to Izumi and that she can't hang with him and spend time and this and that, because that's not the type of person Shikimori is. Yes, she gets jealous, and yes, she knows. Obviously, she got very self-conscious about herself at the end of episode 8 because she realized that other people might see the good qualities. But the thing about Shikimori at the end of the day is she never sets out to sabotage anyone, to sabotage friendships, and if anything, she would love to be able to have more people that she can truly trust in that circle. And it looks like between Kamiya and Shikimori, they have found that trust and appreciation in each other, and rightfully so, because again, the maturity that it took Shikimori, who did not have to do what she did in episode 8, for her to do that, to rip up the paper, knowing how affectionate Shikimori is with Izumi, for her to just throw that away and to care more about making sure Kamiya knows she is not wrong for how she feels and that she has every right to feel the way she feels, to validate those emotions, to validate those feelings, and to care more about someone that she did not have to care about at all. I mean, just wholesomeness all around here, and maturity that I said at the start of this reaction we could all learn from. So this episode was just great. It was great getting to see them interact with each other. Even Nakozaki was just sitting here like, yo, what is going on here? Because of course she has no idea that they have already interacted with each other. But it also looks like Nakozaki picked up a little bit at the end that I think she knows who that person was, and she probably realizes, oh crap. But again, not her place to be involved with, because again, boundaries. Another great thing about this show, proper boundaries are set and respected. And Nakozaki tried so hard to want to hang out with to hang out with Kamiya. She just wanted to spend time with her. Not any of that whole, princess in a castle thing or anything, but just to actually be able to joke and to spend time with someone that she wanted to be a friend with. Another damn good character. All these characters is good in this show. So it's just at least the main characters. It's just, seeing her show that level of respecting that she should not push that, okay, Kamiya is trying to figure out herself, even though she now has her suspicion of who the person is that changed her. That's not her place to be in, and she stood back, and she's just going to be the friend that Kamiya needs right now. And that's really what Kamiya needs, is friends. She needs to be able to establish that it is okay to be vulnerable, to be weak, to laugh, to cry, to experience these emotions that she's had to suppress for such a long time because of being the princess in a castle, of being held at that pedestal. And this episode just further solidified that Kamiya is an outstanding addition to this cast and makes this show even better than it already is. I am absolutely blown by what we've gotten out of this show this season, especially in this last couple of episodes. And I am genuinely going to be sad when this show ends, and I'm happy that we have several more episodes before it does end. So, with that said, I want to talk about the basketball scene, and I'm actually gonna put the picture up. These two girls is what in the hell was up with them? But they ended up being pretty cool too. Maybe we might see them once or twice again before the show ends up ending. Maybe we'll never see them again. I don't know. But again, they're pretty cool characters too. Everyone who's shown up on this screen, I've ended up in one way or another liking. And this is another really wonderful picture. And honestly, even more, it's just like, damn, Kamiya, you went from having no friends now to you're out here meeting strangers now, just immediately kicking it off. At least, you know, with Shikimori and Nikozaki, they knew each other from school. They just didn't really know each other personally. But I was like, damn, Kamiya, I was just so happy about everything that happened in this episode, even as stupid as that basketball game was, because those girls didn't stand a chance whatsoever. They didn't understand. Kamiya and Shikimori is literally a dangerous, dangerous combination. But yeah, it's just crazy, and I'm just so happy. I felt so much relief watching this episode, because this may have been a very different episode if Shikimori did not do what she did. And because she did what she did, she not only has helped Kamiya settle herself and try to resolve herself to what she what she has to do, but also she's opened the door for friendship, for camaraderie, for laughter, and for her to be part of this incredible circle of friends that surrounds Izumi. So, you know, and I feel that at the end, yes, she's not going to get the romance that she wanted, but she's going to get something so much better, and she's going to be a much happier person when it's all said and done. So, guys, I know I've talked a lot about this, and you can tell I'm very, very passionate about this show now. You know, I knew from the start this was a special show, despite how badly and poor the community thinks of it. But this episode just further solidified an already monumental fact that this may be now one of my best shows of this season. And that is something that I don't say lightly. So I'll have to sit on that as the spring season wraps up and seriously consider where Shikimori is going to rank in my top 10. And I'll definitely talk to you guys about that decision when we get to that time. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching this reaction and listening to any of my dialogue you did. I'm always welcome to chat with people about the show in the comments or anything if you want to. If you did like this reaction, if you liked the episode, consider liking and subscribing to this video and to the channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So with that said, I'm happy to say we're back on track to the end. We will pick back up on the next episode of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie next week. And until then, catch you later. Guys, I'm so happy right now, and I had to kick back in at the end of this. So I told y'all I've worked really hard not to see any spoilers, any clips, any pictures, etc. I heard there was a new visual available, and I did my best, and I'm happy to say I did not see the new visual prior to watching this episode, and I'm putting the visual up on the screen right now. And Kamiya's in the visual, and I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy. You guys don't understand. I just want to see Kamiya find happiness in her own way. And this is how it starts, with her getting to be in a group that she can truly call her own. I'm so happy to see her in the visual, and this is just an icing on the cake for what was another 10 out of 10 episode for me. I can't say enough about this damn show, y'all. I can't say enough about how much I love how wholesome this show has been. So I wanted to just kick back in at the end of this video and share that if you have not seen the new visual, the updated version of the key visual for this show now has Kamiya in the backdrop with Nikozaki. So she's part of the gang now, guys. I'm so happy for her. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.